Jester, Tester, an honest review for you.
Hello everyone, Jester Tester is back with another review. This time, we are reviewing the Petwant Smart Pet Feeder by Wopet. And here it is, guys. Now, this is a nice, convenient way of feeding your pet automatically from anywhere you are. And here it is. All right, it is a nice size unit. All right, it's pretty big. All right, and it does work really, really well. Okay, first off, what we want to talk about, it only works on 2.4 gigahertz routers, okay, or the 2.4 gigahertz speed or setting. All right, if you have a dual band router, if you have a 2.4 and a 5 gigahertz, it will find the 2.4 and connect to that. All right, we set it up using an iPhone and a Samsung Android device. Now, I want to say right off the bat, we had a little bit of a problem with the Samsung Galaxy S8 with the app itself. We had to disconnect the app or unload the app and reload it 2 times before we were able to get it. It was a little wonky. It was it couldn't find the device. So I just want to say that right off the bat. Then we did try it with the iPhone, and it had no problems. It synced right up. It found it right away. So, so if you are running it on a Samsung, now, like I said, it was only on the Samsung S8. I can't speak for any of the other platforms, any Android platforms, but the S8, the app did have a little bit of trouble at the beginning. We had to disconnect it or unload the app and reload it about 2 times. And it had a little trouble finding it, syncing up, but then eventually it did. All right, and like we said, the iPhone had no problems. Other than that, it does work really, really well. All right, it does have a camera. All right, and you can set it up. Now, this is the app. All right, you can put it on your, like we said, your iPhone or your Android, and it's pretty cool. You have a lot of different settings that you can put this on. Now, if you go to your feeding section, you have a couple of different 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 settings that you can time your portions to give out at any part of the day. All right, so you could do that automatically. Then, like, let's say your first time that you set it for, you can actually set it to feed 1 portion, 2 portions, or up to 5 portions at a time, which means a certain amount of, let's say you want to give a certain amount of food in the first sitting. Maybe you just want to give a 1/4 cup of food in the first sitting. But in the second wave or setting, you want to give a 1/2 cup of food. You can do that. All right, so that's pretty cool. You have all these different settings and different amount of portions that you can feed out at a time. Now, let's say, let me just go into that real quick. You go into your feedings. Now, if you go in here, the only thing that's a little difficult, I wish they would have done this a little better. If you can see here, when you set your times in, you have to set it in 24-hour time or military time. All right, so for some people, that can get a little confusing. All right, it's really not that bad, but, you know, I wish they would have been able to just have a section where you could have changed that to 12-hour time and just had AM and PM, and would have made it a little easier to figure it out. But it is in 24-hour time, so, you know, you'll have to get used to that if you're not used to 24-hour or military time. But again, really no big deal. All right, so you can set your time for each feeding schedule. All right, so once you're done with that, you hit done, and it'll tell you on the app when your next feeding time. I don't have anything set up right now because I want to show you the manual feeding if you want to do that. Okay, so like we said, there is no schedule set at this point, so otherwise it would show you how many feedings you have set. We have 0 out of 0 right now, and it would tell you when your next feeding time is scheduled for. But let's say, for the sake of argument, you're out and you say, oh, I want to feed the pet right now. You can go to manual feeding, okay, right there, And you hold that button down. And if you watch the tray, you hold that button. It'll come up, upcoming feeding in 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. It's set for 1 portion. And it gives out 1 portion of food. Okay, now we'll do that again. I'll try and put the camera down a little bit so you can see. Okay, let me do it again. I'll pay out 1 portion of food. You hold the button. It'll tell you that it's going to do it in 1 second. So that's 1 portion of food. It just gives a little bit. You can put that all the way up to 5 portions. It also tells you when you pay, when you've manually fed, how many portions you gave out at a time. Okay, I've been doing this for a couple times, so it tells me now that I gave out 9 portions, but at this point I just gave out 2 on this video. Yeah, so there's a lot of different things you can do with it. You can go to video, all right, and the video is not bad. It's actually pretty good. Now remember, it runs on a 2.4 gigahertz setting, so it's not going to be the greatest video in the world. But I'll put the video up here just so you can see what it looks like. And it's good enough to see if the dog is coming and eating, stuff like that. It gives a pretty good video. You also can call your pet. You can also put in here when you hit pet, the name of your pet, the age, the breed, the weight, and it'll tell you how many portions in the day it was fed out. So it gives you a lot of different information on the app. It tells you how many times in the day it was fed and all that. So, you know, all in all, it's a really nice little device. All right, if you're out a lot and you want to control the feeding of your pet, it is a pretty good little device. It does work very, very well. All right, guys, so that's it. Just a tester saying be well, guys. Happy shopping, and until the next review, we will see you.